Child, I tried to act like the judge for a few hours and I like to lost my damn mind. I don't know why anybody on the earth would want to ever be judging something outside of themselves. I really feel like that is a job for God all by himself. And after thoroughly examining it with the intent of trying to understand it, there is no reason. There is no logical reason why anyone would judge another person if you know that the judgment you give away is the judgment you receive. What part of that don't you get? So when you are pointing your fingers and looking at other people and talking about them, you are creating that for you. Like, there's a degree of, it's like everybody, the world, you are the world. And the ones who do it are the 2/3. See, the story goes that they say that a third got kicked out. No, a third got pulled out. Got pulled out. Whew. I took a lot of damage to them daggone ring fingers. But to have to, when you realize, like, no, I don't, it don't have to be this internal thing has to be complete first. If I do not do my internal work, then I do not have that genuine, real God body worth. And so when you know you still in the press and you still got things to do, it does not matter what someone else thinks of you. Like, why do you care what anyone else thinks about what you do? Like, do you really care about what they do? And if you do, why do you? Why does it matter to you what someone else is doing? Like, what does it serve you to even care? How does what you think about someone else help or hurt them? Like, what does your opinion have to do with someone else's life? What do your feelings have to do with their feelings? What do your ideas have to do with theirs? And if you weren't so busy trying to look at somebody else's test sheet, you would have figured out that no one's sheet is the same. We are chosen to go through a series of events to see if we can come to the place where we master ourselves, that we do not look outside for anybody else, but we look to the great I am that is within. And if we are able to successfully do this, then we become the mirror image of him. We are God's children, but we're not acting like it. And life gonna treat you the way you act, you see. At any time you want, you can come out from amongst them and just be in me. The only thing is you can't come over the threshold to the God body if you haven't let go of all of the things from the outside. So just like, when you come in from outside, some people house you go in, you gotta take off your shoes, and well, you can't bring that in with you. It doesn't matter that you did those things here. Do you have the wherewithal and the heart condition to be willing to let them go, that you get the life? Or are you going to hold on to the things that are only going to die because it feels comfortable having them? They want to make you believe that there's an antichrist coming. No, there's no antichrist coming. It's the devil's time is up. The game is over with. And guess what? We found our way out. Because if one got out, we all got out. So come on, come on, come on, come on. We out of here, y'all. If you're willing to come along. But you got to make up your mind that you realize that you are selling the body of God. You got to own your identity. You can't keep on trying to act like you're something outside of the God body. What else could you be? It's only one body of God. He told you, and this is what you say you believe. How about having some courage, Lions? And stand up on these things. Not just talk about them and do things that make it look like it, but I'm talking about be like it. Don't act your way through. Be your way through. Those that know their God can be strong and do phenomenal things. Not that act like, not that read about, not that talk about, but those that know. That know. And you don't need to, when it's what you know, is what you know. We spend so much time thinking and pondering, not realizing that our DNA stores everything. That 95% that they're calling junk, that is your lineage. That you have full access to everything in your family. I said to myself one day, well, I was looking at our family tree, and I said, oh, Bill Cosby is my grandmother's cousin. Well, look what Bill was able to do. Now, they can stain his reputation and all those things, but they'll never change the fact that the man did the things that he did. And he did phenomenal things. So it's like, well, that's in my DNA. Put a pin in that. Oh, I had an uncle, he could draw. Oh, let me pick up and see if I could try. It's in our DNA. Danielle became a lawyer. And it's in our DNA. And so on the day of trial, I was able to pull up what I need. I don't have to know a thing. If it's in your jeans, and I'm not talking about your pants, my friends, then you have access to it. But you have to come in and see. You got to, you don't know yourself. And so you don't know how you operate. You don't know what you need to do to make you be the best version of you, because you are spending your time allowing outside things to project onto you. But what they're doing is they are taking their troubles, handing them to you, and then they're taking your good energy so that they can live a few more years off of you, so that they can manifest and get these little trinkets and things that make them feel good, but they are robbing you of your life essence. This is the conundrum that we're in. You want to give the love away. You want to be surrounded by people. You don't want to feel alone. Well, the only way to not truly feel alone is that if you come in and tap in with the greater within. And then you wouldn't have superstition, because there would be nothing you would fear, because you would know that God is right here. But because you are afraid of, or you believe that something is wrong, those things were put there to see what type of being you would be. Would you follow the rules so much that you would forsake your own self because you wouldn't use your eyes to see? Hence, Jesus working on the Sabbath, so that you can see that if they are laws, they can't be broken. But if they are rules, they can be changed. And if it can be changed, it doesn't stand for anything. So it doesn't matter, my friend. You are a free moral agent. And because you can do something doesn't mean it's what you should do. If God is telling you that this is not what I want you to do, why do you think you know more than God, boo? You don't know how you work, and then you won't come inside of you to find out. And then you got a book of instructions and you won't even follow them. You make up your own rules. Read a book that was written by a Thespian that made it where you can't even hardly understand what's happening. But if I wanted to keep you trapped in a trap, well, that's the type of trap I would set for you to be in. You'd never be able to get out of it if you couldn't figure out that there was nothing outside of you, because you are inside. And because you have that recognition and that awareness that you are inside of God, then God is also inside of you. And because of our blood and its alkaline, and when it's in its more alkaline state, well then we can then cause our DNA to activate. But everybody's so afraid to be who they say they are. I want to be a goddess and I want to be a god. Well, are you activated in those powers, child? And if you don't know how, I'm telling you, I'm here to coach you through the dark. And because of your fears and what somebody else is going to think, you're forsaking me. And you don't even understand that God says right in the middle, but I could be standing in the middle road and they wouldn't recognize me. Reprobates. Wanting to tap into others' energy, tell other people's stories, because why is it I can get a few bucks from somebody, I can take advantage of somebody else's hurt and pain, all in the name of telling somebody what is coming for them. But do you know that if you just went within and instead of telling them everything that was going on, you just took them off the hook and forgave them, and you two agreed that you was going to activate again, that all it take is 2 or 3 in my name, and who is that I am but me? That's all we could ever be. We are inside of a body, members of this body. And just like you got a brain, you got a head, you got toes, you got fingers, you got a heart, you got a liver. And none of them get to step outside and say, well, I'm going to live outside of you. So why, if you are made in God's image and after his likeness, do you think that you can live outside of his body? Your members, are they going to walk out there and start living? We got to start opening our clear eyes, opening up your eyes to see. You have to be able to look at the realities, not see, because you'll get warnings in your spiritual text, but those warnings are put there to see if you have a spirit of fear. Because if you are fearing something from the outside and the greater is on the inside of you, you have made a mistake. And the only person you fear is you. And you don't recognize when you come into the company of someone who is tapped in to the Most High, you get agitated by them because what they are mirroring, you can't recognize it because you are you. And you not me. And because of it, you can't stand to look upon the gaze of the God. And so, just like any devil, all I got to do is stand there being me. And the devil gonna flee. Because when I'm being my authentic self, he know he ain't me. But when I'm trying to be like the ways of man, do not follow the customs of man, because you will begin to act like them. And they will trick you time and time again, bringing you lower and lower and lower underneath all these letter campaigns. They have FBI, CIA, NSA, TIA. It does not matter. If whatever the campaign is, it is designed to rope you in. They are spelling you. If you go under a letter campaign, trust me, that for the first time in my life, I joined the NAACP and I joined the Poor People's Campaign. And I almost joined the United Nation of Israel, but I was like, this is just another spell being cast. And it's like, people are not realizing that The words we use have so much power, the combinations of letters. And so if there's no way I would be able to join something where the acronym is the number 357. Because I'm sorry. In my mind's eye, the synchronicity say to me, that's like walking into a death, the death ring. Their intent is to kill you. If it was you and I, it would have made sense because that would then be the truth. But you and why? Why would you be in I? Because where else would you be? We're all in the body of God. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you allowing yourself to reason with a sound mind? Because that is the power that God gave you. He gave you the power. He gave you a spirit of, I did not give you a spirit of fear, but of love and power of a sound mind. So love works via the sound mind. Love is not your feelings. Love is the catalyst that makes your mind then activate your genetic line going down your spine, and it wakes you up to the reality of where you truly are, because you are not in time. Time is a filing system. Just like any drawer. That's what time is for. It is just to file things away so that you can keep track of where you put a thing. And so you don't have to be stuck. Time can't bind you to anything. It's time for us to move ahead now. No longer being the lesser things. So remember, he said that the last will become first, because you're going to stop using that reptilian part of your brain, the part that's freeze, flight, fear, run, all of that crap. That amygdala response where you're so fearful. But I understand why, if you got your music playing and you got people in full tactical gear coming to your door, it might make you triggered and always in a state of fear, or sirens are always running everywhere. It's amazing that we have a fire truck, a ambulance, and a police car that run for the dope fiend who's dying, but we don't have police who are picking up the drug dealers who are supplying. So who really is in control of what is happening, my friends? And it stands to reason that you are just the tool that they're using so that they can move their pieces of paper around. And they'll give you a few to make you feel special too. But what do those pieces of paper really do? Because if they took all the papers away, would you know how to take care of you? Would you know what next to do? Would you know who to connect with and who works best with you? So when you get them to convince you of all of these superstitious things, well, listen, me being a life path 9, well, if you know what that means, then you would know that I'm a humanitarian being. And at the end of the day, my mission in life is to do humane things. But we have to speak through the frequency. We have to tell the truth over it. It is the truth that breaks the frequency. If you tell a lie, so like one of Stevie Wonder's songs say, but if you lie, it'll come to pass. How that song go? What song is that? Where's Shazam or somebody for when you need him? If you lie, well, then you get all of the opposite of what the truth affords you. So if the truth affords you life, what gives you death? And so how do you pay the wages of death, of sin? You just stop lying. And the truth sets you free. God made a perfect order, and it's ordered perfectly. But the first thing you got to do is get in line with me. And if you don't know how to do it by yourself, then it means that you got to follow the lead. And since you really don't know, it does not make sense to continue acting when you could come and learn to truly be what God designed you to be, you see. I promise I'm going to get the hell out your way, because my only greatest desire, and it's the only one I've had my whole life, you see, is to get back home and reign with my Father. And that is my only desire, you see. I'm going to teach you to love. You don't have to take it from me. I'm going to show you the way love works, but you got to know that love is not a feeling. You got to know that love is God moving. But he moves through your knowing, not your thinking. Thinking is an unnecessary evil. That's why it says your Holy Spirit can bring back remembrance to you. Anything, your DNA, your family, everything is there. You don't lose anything. And all you have to do is ask your memory to draw it to you. You don't have to look back. You don't have to remember no time. Just what you need. If you know grandma could do X, Y, and Z, well, grandma, I need that to come up in me, because you have it. This is the resurrection before the one we see. Our lineage wakes up in us, and then we, as activated body, can go into the valley of the dry bones, and we can hydrate them again. But if we all dried up because we're depleted of love, and the chosen ain't giving away no more for free. Nah, you got to come over here, and you got to acknowledge the fact that you know me. You got to acknowledge the fact that you understand that this is where this power is coming from. Because if not, we just going to shut it all down, because we already know now. We are the powers that be. And you can't fool us anymore. Your reign of tyranny and treachery is over, you see. Out of us comes everything. And out of you just comes calamity. And so we are calling everything that is ours back inside, you see. And everything that belongs to me, it's time to come inside. And if you're not ready for the ride, well, I'm sorry, dear hearts. I truly did try. Well, you got a little while. Take a little time to make a post. That was compassion. That's why I didn't go live. Love always gonna be what it is, you see. But this is the final album. So it's time to come to me. Come on, and come on.